eerie, supernatural, surreal.
It's been 13 years since Alan Wake came out in 2010, where supposedly it's finally getting a sequel later this year, which led me to take a closer look at Alan Wake, as I'm curious to see if it's worthy of a sequel. Along the way, we'll take a stab at some of the big questions. Is it worthy of your time and money or not? If you like spoiler-free reviews along with other entertaining content, make sure to hit that sub button, as this is a great growing gaming community in the works. We would love to have you. Anyway, let's get the spoiler-free review underway, shall we?
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer.
Our story takes place with Alan Wake, a best-selling American novelist who's suffering from a 2-year strain of writer's block, and his wife Alice arriving off the ferry in the small remote town of Bright Falls. Shortly after arriving, Alice disappears without a trace. This launches our story into overdrive, where Alan begins to seek out what happened to Alice, but supernatural happenings begin to come alive in this little town. A story of light versus dark. The game is a survival horror with a third-person shooter element. I personally don't do well with horror games. Why do I feel like this is a bad idea? Why?
Little fish.
But I got to say, this didn't really come across as a scary game to me. It could be labeled a psychological thriller, and you could see things that may be inspired by Stephen King. Don't get me wrong, there were a few moments that could be taken as jump scares, but for the most part, I didn't find myself scared. More so having a feeling of, oh god, that's eerie or unsettling from time to time. In addition to having a few encounters of, wow, that was corny, but hey, you gotta have some comedic relief somewhere in these sort of games too, right?
Did you call 911?
Guess that one saw the light, huh? You didn't like that one? A tough audience. Well, I got plenty more.
What are the Christmas lights for?
Protection, man! Like garlic against vampires?
The game is set in an episodic style, where it has a total of 6 episodes, each one being an hour to 2 hours in length. It was kind of a cool aspect if you needed to recap. Each episode started out with,
Previously on Alan Wake.
just like a TV show would provide.
Nice touch, by the way.
This game isn't anything too complex, very cut out on what to do, being solely objective, and not really giving much to wandering around to explore. Here's some weapons, pick up ammo where you see it, make your way to the light to heal and reach checkpoints. You catch my drift. Making it nothing too gruesome on time to beat, or you can find yourself doing it in about 10 to 12 hours.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
I will say, this wasn't the best game I've ever played. However, I'm pretty sure I picked this up for like $5, maybe even less during a Steam sale, and it was a decent find. I personally won't be finding myself playing this again, but it wasn't a bad story. Where I admit, I'm curious to see how Alan Wake 2 fares, especially since this game ends in a cliffhanger.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, I said no major spoilers. I didn't tell you how it's a cliffhanger, but just, well, a heads up, you know? Anyway, I won't be dropping a ton of money on the sequel, but be keeping an eye on when it drops. Or I guess, if it drops like reports are saying it will later in 2023. So when it does go on a reasonable sale, I might scoop it up. It's been 13 years. Hopefully, it will be worth the long wait it's been between these games. But hey, time will tell. In the meantime, for more spoiler-free reviews and other content, make sure to subscribe, like the video, please, and let me hear from you in the comments. What are your thoughts on Alan Wake? Have you heard of this game before this video? But most importantly, make sure to take care of yourself, have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video, which will appear on the screen right here.